walk on the wild side. I laugh in the face of danger.
Times of war, the fog of war, you hope to be led by competent, strong, intelligent leaders. Instead, America is saddled with Werther's Originals, Denture Man, and Hyena. Hyena was deployed to the front lines. This week, Kamala Harris went to Poland and Romania. And if you could kill the Russian army with cringe, well, let's just say she was a dirty bomb. Here are Kamala Harris's most cringy moments. We'll react to them alongside with you and watch them and sit back in horror and terror of the cringe carpet bomb that has been hitting the Eastern Front. Maybe this is what will take down Vladimir Putin. He'll watch this, his eyes and ears will bleed, and he'll be done for. Here we go, Kamala Harris Cringe Fest. Let's start with the Nightmare Word Salad special.
The UN has set up a process by which there will be a review and investigations, and we will, of course, participate as appropriate and necessary. But we all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But just limited to what we have seen. Pregnant women going for health care, being injured by, I don't know, a missile or bomb in an unprovoked, unjustified war where a powerful country is trying to take over another country, violate its sovereignty, its territorial integrity for the sake of what? Nothing that is justified or provoked?
I'm not going to make it through. I'm not going to make it through all these clips, guys. I'm not going to be able to do it. This is Kamala's worst trait. There's so many, but the worst trait is Kamala Harris acting as though we're all a bunch of 5-year-olds and she's having to explain the world to us. In fact, she did this in a radio hit. We'll play it for you right now. There were echoes of that. Now she's on the front lines doing it. She said that Russia's a big country and that Ukraine's a little country and that it's wrong, basically.
Ukraine. Break it down in layman's terms for people who don't understand what's going on and how can this directly affect the people of the United States.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
What I find interesting about that clip is that Kamala Harris wasn't asked to explain it to someone as though they don't have a functional brainstem or were dropped on their skull as a child. This is how Kamala Harris was just talking. This means that her assumption is that everybody is mentally handicapped in the world except for her. This kind of arrogance, petulantness, charlatan nature that is carried by the signatories of the elite. This is often how Barack Obama used to talk to people. It's how Hillary Clinton talks to people. They think that everyone else is stupid and they are incredibly smart, when in fact they are actually the dumbest people on earth. Listen to Kamala Harris being asked about the horrific refugee crisis, millions of refugees fleeing Ukraine and swamping the borders of other European countries. There is not enough aid. There are not enough systems in place to manage these refugees. But it's hilarious.
To ask you about some reporting that my colleague here in Poland noticed. He recently spoke with the mayor of the largest border town, who told him that the refugee system is essentially not set up for this, that it will collapse. It's an improvised system that can work for maybe 2 weeks, but not indefinitely. And I'm wondering what the United States is going to do more specifically to set up a permanent infrastructure. And relatedly, is the United States willing to make a specific allocation for Ukrainian refugees? And for President Duda, I wanted to know if you think, and if you asked the United States to specifically accept more refugees.
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, I can first. Okay, so this time, szanowna pani redaktor,
Madam, the situation is very complex. This is what I was saying.
Refugees are so funny. They were having cluster bombs dropped on them. These people are disgusting. What lizard people? Kamala Harris is such a lizard person. Gosh. That was her in Poland. Then Kamala Harris went ahead to Romania and had this to say. The wisdom will just pierce your soul. Listen to her response to this question on whether Americans can expect extremely high gas and inflation crises forever.
If I can ask you, Madam Vice President, President Biden has said that Americans will feel some pain for the sake of defending freedom and liberty, but there does seem to be no end game in sight. How long should Americans expect? How long should we be bracing for this really sort of historic inflation and some unprecedented gas prices?
Sure.
Stop right there. The question was to Kamala Harris. So why is she looking at the Romanian president? The question's to Kamala, not to the president of Romania. The question was directly at her about the American economy. So why is she looking at the... She's not even paying attention. She's not paying attention. She's not even trying. She doesn't read her briefing books, according to her disgruntled staff that have left and fled her office. She doesn't read her briefing books. She's just so incompetent. She's willfully stupid. Why are you looking at the Romanian president? Whatever.
In terms of the discussions that the President, Johannes, and I had, they ranged in subject, including the issue of the Black Sea, and I'll let him explain in more detail as he would like. But we are, again, fully aware and apprised, because we are in constant communication with the President, with his administration here, about the concerns that they have about the entire region and, frankly, the vulnerability.
None of this was about inflation. None of that answer was about gasoline. None of that answer was about life back at home for Americans. What the hell is she talking about? Nobody asked you about your communications with Romania. The question was about inflation and gasoline. But it gets worse. Listen to Kamala Harris try and answer a complicated question as it pertains to what she is doing to prevent war. Oh, it's painful.
It is painful to watch what is happening to
yes, it is.
People in Ukraine who just want to live in their own country and have pride in themselves as Ukrainians, who want to be home speaking the language they know, going to the church that they know, raising their children in the community where their families have lived for generations. And by the millions now are having to flee with nothing but a backpack.
So yeah, Kamala Harris, pearls of wisdom falling from the sky, but nothing better than her speaking at a green energy event this week when gasoline is hitting $8 a gallon in Los Angeles and an average of $5 a gallon around the country, saying that what is possible is probable.
That's why we're here today, because we have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, and then to make the possible actually happen.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This is it. This is... Okay. I think we're all done here. I think we're being led by morons, and this is probably the end of the country, because we were stupider than the hyenas on the Serengeti and we put the dumbest hyena in charge, the one from Lion King, the one with the crazy eyes, you know, whatever it was, whatever the name of the hyena in Lion King. That's the person we're sending to go negotiate with Putin and our allies in the East. In the words of Kamala Harris, it is possible for me to be done with this YouTube video. So now we're going to make that happen. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. We are 100% independent news. Are you sick of being lied to? We certainly are. That's why we started this channel. But we can't do it without you. We can't keep going without your help. All we ask is that you click like and subscribe and share this video. It's free. And it keeps us going, it keeps us growing, it keeps us getting the truth out there to break the rotted corporate media infrastructure that wants to lie to you every single day, wants to corrupt your narratives, your truth, your story, and your very society. So support us by clicking like, clicking subscribe, and thank you, Patriots.